Just outside White Plains, New York, there's a quiet stretch of road. During the day, it's an ordinary suburban roadway. But after sunset, Buckout Road becomes something else. For generations, locals have whispered about the road's dark history. Stories of ghostly soldiers wandering the woods, strange lights drifting through the trees, a lonely woman who appears without warning, an old cemetery where the dead refuse to rest, and perhaps the most infamous legend of them all, a mysterious family said to emerge from the forest after nightfall. Whether these tales are history, folklore, or something in between, Buckout Road has earned a reputation as one of New York's most unsettling places. Tonight, we're exploring the legends that have surrounded this road for generations. This is the story of Buckout Road. Long before Buckout Road carried its haunted reputation, the land had already witnessed centuries of tragedy. Native American tribes once called this region home, before European settlement forever changed the landscape. As colonists expanded into what would become Westchester County, conflict followed, and stories of violence became woven into the area's earliest history. Then came the American Revolution. The Battle of White Plains transformed the surrounding countryside into contested ground. British and Continental forces marched through these forests. Skirmishes erupted across the region, and countless soldiers never returned home. To this day, many believe those restless spirits never truly left. Drivers have claimed to see shadowy figures moving silently among the trees. Others speak of hearing distant footsteps or the faint sound of marching where no one can be found. Some even describe ghostly soldiers appearing along the roadside before vanishing into the darkness. Whether echoes of history or something far stranger, these accounts have become part of Buckout Road's enduring legend. Not far from the road sits an old family cemetery whose weathered stones have watched over the landscape for centuries. By daylight, it's peaceful. By night, it's another story. Visitors have long spoken of strange whispers carried on the wind, unexplained cold spots, shadowy figures moving between the gravestones. Some claim they captured mysterious lights in photographs. Others insist they felt an overwhelming sensation that they were not alone. Many believe the cemetery serves as the heart of Buckout Road's paranormal activity, a place where the boundary between the living and the dead feels unusually thin. No story has become more closely tied to Buckout Road than the legend of the albinos. For decades, teenagers across Westchester County passed the story from friend to friend. The tale spoke of an isolated family of albino cannibals living deep within the woods, hidden from the outside world. Some versions describe an abandoned red house tucked beyond the trees. Others claim the family only appears after dark. The ritual was always the same. Drive onto Buckout Road late at night. Turn off the headlights. Honk the horn. Then wait. Those who tell the story say movement soon begins in the woods. A pale figure emerges. Then another. Some claim they heard footsteps rushing toward their car. Others swear something pounded against the doors before they sped away into the night. Over the years, countless variations of the legend have spread, each adding another layer to Buckout Road's growing mystery. And even today, locals will tell you there are places along the road where they simply refuse to stop after dark. If there's one ghost said to haunt roads across America, it's the woman in white. Buckout Road has its own version of the tale. Late at night, drivers have reported seeing a lone woman standing quietly along the shoulder of the road. She wears a pale, flowing dress. Her face is often hidden. Sometimes, she appears to be staring into the woods. Other times, she seems to be watching the passing cars. Those who claim to have seen her say she never speaks. She simply stands there, motionless. Some drivers continue on, too unsettled to stop. Others glance into the rearview mirror only to discover she's no longer standing where they passed her. She's simply gone. According to local legend, she's the spirit of a woman whose life ended in tragedy somewhere along Buckout Road. The details change depending on who's telling the story. Some say she was struck by a passing vehicle. Others believe she wandered into the woods and was never seen again. Or maybe she was eaten by the albinos. Whatever her story may have been, believers say she still waits beside the road, searching for something or someone she lost long ago. Perhaps the most chilling part of the legend isn't seeing her. It's realizing she's disappeared before you can look twice. There are no shortage of strange lights reported on Buckout Road. Travelers have described glowing orbs drifting silently between the trees. Small lights that appear deep in the forest, only to vanish the moment someone approaches. Others have reported bright flashes crossing the road with no apparent source. No headlights, no flashlight, no nearby houses. Just a sudden burst of light. Then darkness once again. Some say the lights belong to spirits wandering the old woods. Others believe they're the lanterns of soldiers still searching the battlefield centuries after the fighting ended. A few claim the lights seem almost curious, following vehicles for a short distance before fading back into the trees. Whether seen from the corner of the eye or directly ahead on the road, one detail appears again and again in the eyewitness accounts. The lights never seem to stay long enough for anyone to reach them. Few names inspire as much unease as Albert Fish, one of America's most infamous serial killers. His crimes shocked the nation and left a legacy of horror that still lingers nearly a century later. Over the years, Buckout Road has become intertwined with stories involving Fish. Some believe he once lived somewhere near the road. Others claim he traveled through the area. As with so many Buckout legends, the details change with every retelling. But for many, his name became another piece of the road's dark reputation. It's a connection that is only deep in the sense that Buckout Road carries a darkness unlike ordinary places. Whether rooted in history, rumor, or coincidence, the legend has endured for decades. And for those who already believe the road is haunted, it becomes one more unsettling chapter in an already disturbing story. Despite the passing years, the stories have never stopped. Even today, visitors continue making late-night trips down Buckout Road, hoping to experience something they can't explain. Some report an overwhelming feeling of being watched. Others say the woods become unnaturally quiet, as though every sound has suddenly disappeared. Drivers have spoken of sudden drops in temperature. Electronic devices lose signal. Car radios filling with static. Some claim to hear knocking on the outside of their vehicles despite finding no one nearby. Others describe catching movement in the trees just beyond the reach of their headlights. Many refuse to stop. Few return alone. The road has become a rite of passage for generations of curious explorers, paranormal investigators, and thrill seekers. Each arrive searching for answers. Most leave with more questions than they brought. Perhaps that's what makes Buckout Road so unforgettable. Not any single ghost story. Not one mysterious sighting. Not one whispered tale passed between friends. It's the way all of those stories have become woven together over generations. Every person who drives the road seems to add another chapter. A strange sound, an unexplained shadow, a feeling they can't quite describe. Eventually, those stories become part of the road itself. Whether you're drawn there by curiosity, history, or the hope of witnessing something extraordinary. Buckout Road has a way of making you wonder what might be waiting just beyond the trees. Maybe it's only your imagination. Maybe it isn't. Tonight, Buckout Road remains exactly what it has always been. A quiet stretch of pavement winding through the woods of Westchester County. By daylight, it's easy to dismiss the stories. The road seems peaceful, ordinary, almost inviting. But when darkness settles over the trees, when the wind falls silent, and your headlights become the only light for miles, it's easy to understand why so many legends were born here. Maybe the spirits of the past still wander those woods. Maybe something unseen watches from between the trees. Or maybe Buckout Road has become something even more powerful than a haunted place. A legend. One passed from generation to generation. Growing a little darker. One passed from generation to generation. Growing a little darker. A little stranger. Every time it's told. So if you ever find yourself driving through White Plains after midnight, and you come across a lonely road disappearing into the darkness, you may want to keep your eyes on the pavement, because if the stories are true, the most frightening thing you can do is look into the woods. And if you do, don't be surprised if something looks back.